Back to another episode of Raving and Reviewing. My name is R, and this is my co-host V.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Today we're back reviewing Marvel's new MCU movie, The Eternals.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first movie I didn't know anything about before we started.
Yeah, I did watch the initial few trailers and teasers, but I didn't really recognize any of the. I recognize all the actors, but don't really know any of the characters. Um, and I know there was a lot going on. Definitely had Game of Thrones vibe, not just because the two actors from there were on it, but there's just so many like characters to keep track of. So I was already like feeling lazy about doing research and figuring out what the stories was about. So I just kind of went in semi-blind.
Yeah, same. Usually I would like research every character and every story and what they're from. I kind of did this time. I was like, let's just be surprised. Because
Yeah.
Guardians, I had like looked into everyone. It didn't lessen the experience, but I thought this would be another Guardians experience, but it wasn't.
Yeah. I feel like we were also you were definitely more hyped for Guardians too, because you had like
I
no.
read the comic from
Yeah.
2008.
Right. But this was, yeah, like you said, it didn't really lessen the experience not knowing who all these people, because they did a semi decent job explaining it.
think I think they got every character their moment, I think,
Mm-hmm.
but not enough for me to care. Like they
Yeah.
showed their power and showed who they were, but not enough for me to like be like, I need to see more of them.
Yeah, agreed. 100% agreed. What was your impression of the movie as a whole?
I think it's okay movie. I think it's probably a lower tier of the Marvel overall like standalone movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably would not watch this again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think same. It's a one-time watch. Unlike the other movies like Shang-Chi, I think we're gonna definitely rewatch that, and if it comes
Yeah, next
out.
Friday. Yeah, November
Yeah,
12th.
yeah, exactly. So probably put it on. I'm actually really excited to show Shang-Chi to my parents. Like I think my father's gonna love that movie. Um, but I mean, yeah, it's a good enough movie. I think I didn't really go in with any expectations, so I wasn't disappointed. But at the same time, I was like, some of these scenes did kind of drag on a little bit. Like you said, some of the characters like just did not care about. So little things like that, I was just like, okay, like they could have done a lot of things better in this movie.
Yeah, I think the set pieces were fine. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
anything like stood out. And the
Mm-hmm.
cinematography is good, but it just
Mm-hmm.
seems like a bad Christopher Nolan movie. Like,
Like not his top tier movies.
yeah, it's like like Dunkirk and like Interstellar are not his best movies, but they're
Yeah,
filmed really nicely.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
think this is like it's done nicely, but it's not like that level yet.
Right. I mean, a lot of people love Interstellar. I think that is definitely one of his high rated movies. We didn't like it because I guess we didn't understand the science behind it.
Well, I
But
mean, I don't like the plot of it. I liked how it
that's,
looked.
yeah, everything looked beautiful there. But yeah, you're 100%. It did kind of feel like one of those kind of slow pace, yet trying to pretend to be like fast paced movies. And like
Mm-hmm.
some of it was like a mishmash of things happening. And you know what the sad thing is? There's a lot of good actors in this movie. Like
Mm-hmm.
they didn't utilize them. And the main person in the movie who probably got the most screen time and some of the most like important tasks in the movie was just deadpan. Like, and she was so boring. And I just anytime she came on screen, I was just like, oh my God, I'm gonna fall asleep. It wasn't good. She not because she couldn't I don't know. I feel like it was her acting. I think her acting was kind of bad. She like didn't convince me that like to the point where I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe the world should end if this lady's trying to save it.
You're referring to the main character, the
Yeah,
Cersei.
yeah, Cersei.
Yeah, I don't think that
I
she
don't think she was a
portrayed.
good fit. I
I
don't
don't
think
know
she was
this
a good fit.
character if she should be exciting or anything, or she is just like sad all the time. But It was pretty
No,
dull, and she
I
doesn't
think
like portray
she's.
like the main character.
Mhm,
And like Salma Hayek was the person that like is the leader of this group
mhm,
originally, I guess. Like
mhm.
at least like the first hour of the movie, she's the leader, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Do we go into spoilers yet, or
Yeah, we can, I guess, go into spoilers now. Just I
okay?
wasn't
Yeah,
gonna say
because
like what happens to,
okay,
but like
okay.
Salma Hayek is the main leader of this
Leader. Yeah.
of the Eternals, and she does a pretty good job. I think like she's pretty
It
great.
was my favorite. I love anytime she was on screen, I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch again. Really liked her. I think she did such a good job. She just has this like amazing presence. Her accent's so freaking hot. She's so freaking hot. I was so into her the whole time. I'm like, okay, you just stay. Don't move off the screen because you're the only thing I'm really enjoying right now. Um, Other than that, I think a lot of like the veteran actors, like Angelina Jolie, did a fine job. Like, I don't think there was she wasn't in the movie much, to be honest with you, but I think she was okay. I know I was kind of groaning every
Got
time.
your bias,
Yeah,
your
I had
personal bias.
my reasons for it, but sure, I thought she did a good job.
What do you think about Kingo? Kingo,
Oh, he's my favorite. He was so
who's
cute
your favorite?
every time. Yeah, he was so him and his valet.
Yeah,
Anytime they were on the screen, they just the comic like pairing of the two people, I just worked out so well. I think they had one of like the like better moments in the movie. They kept the movie kind of lighthearted and kept the audience in like a more like comic relief state anytime things were getting a little too serious. And with Cersei being the main person, a lot of times it was serious even when they didn't need to be. So
yeah. I think that's like the Kingo part was like the only attachment to like another Marvel movie. Like him and his valet is like the only thing I could see relating to like
something else.
someone like in Guardians, like you see them playing against each other. Like
Yeah.
no one was playing against each other. Maybe like the Don Lee, the Gilgamesh, and like Angelina Jolie, they had a great like
Yeah, they had a
chemistry.
good bond. I did like that relationship.
And then Sprite, she's actually 14 years old. I never heard of this actress.
Yeah, I think she might be new.
Yeah, and this new character was great. I think it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think almost everything, like from the trailers, I was like, oh, she's gonna be annoying.
Yeah.
But from the
She
movie,
wasn't.
she actually
She
turned
was
out pretty
fine.
good.
She
And
was
then
fine. I
there's the
liked her enough.
one speedster lady, Makari.
Yes.
Um, I was
Not in
unsure.
a
She's not deaf, but she can't speak.
yes.
She can
She was
hear. She can't
yeah, she can
vocally speak.
hear. Right, right.
Um,
They didn't explain that either, right? I guess that's just who she is.
yeah, it's just who she is. But
Yeah.
I think her effects were actually done really well. Like,
I was gonna say I did like her like speedstering
mhm.
through the movie. I think it looked really good.
Yeah, it's way better than Quicksilver, and then I think anything that Flash does, like movie or
Yeah.
TV wise.
Oh
Like,
no, I did like that one scene from X-Men Quicksilver. That was a fun scene.
oh, that's yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know which movie, First Class maybe,
I
where he's
think
like
it's first.
rearranging everything and he's listening to
Yeah,
music. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a good one.
yeah. That's a good one. But I do agree,
Just a
like
different style.
mhm.
Mhm.
It works better with because she's not really a main character. I think out of all of the Eternals, she might have had the least screen time.
Mhm.
Her
Yeah,
and
she
the
had very
mentor
little screen time.
guy, Phantos,
Patos. I don't know.
Phantos. Yeah,
The
so
guy from
them two
Atlanta,
had
Paperboy
yeah,
from Atlanta.
yeah. I mean, he had more screen time than her actually. Now that I think
Hmm.
about it, he was pretty important in the last half of the movie. Um, but she had very little screen time. But I think I liked her effects. I think she held her own in the last battle scene. I thought she did a good job. Um, I wish she was actually in the movie more because her and the other guy, what was his name? Druid? Druid.
Druid, yeah.
Yeah, him and her, like they had very few scenes together, but I actually like the chemistry. I was feeling it. I was like, I feel like them two could have like, maybe they can't be main anywhere else, but if they're like involved in another Marvel show where they're kind of like a side character, yeah, it'd be fun to watch them to like do
Yeah,
something.
I mean, Druid, I didn't really care for. Um, I
No,
have
he
seen
was
him in
annoying.
Dunkirk. I have seen him in
Okay.
Dunkirk.
Okay.
But it's like one of the ones that I was like, okay, he's whatever. And then the
Yeah.
last major character, I guess, is Jon Snow. Kit
Yes.
Harington's
Yes.
Dan Whitman or Whiteman. I
I
think it's
I
Whitman.
don't know if I'd call him a main character in this movie.
I mean,
Yes.
he's billed as like top 3 person, so it's very strange. He's in the movie for like 10 minutes.
And that's being generous. He's in the movie for 5 minutes, and his whole scene obviously revolves around Gemma Chen, Cersei's
Mhm.
character, right?
Yeah,
Boyfriend.
he's in the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes. That's
Yeah,
it.
and I
He
was
could have filmed that all in one
thinking
day.
he probably did. He probably got paid for like 3 months worth of work.
Yeah.
But to me, he was kind of like the MJ of Spider-Man, where in the first Spider-Man, MJ really like you don't know who she really is. She's not built out as like a top like character. You know, she's in there for a couple of scenes where she's being snarky, but then rest of the time she's just chilling in the background or so. I felt like they're kind of doing the same thing with Jon Snow because they're using that formula. People loved Zendaya in the first movie, even though she was not like the main top character, but you know, she was being snarky and she like had a couple of like quick remarks. They kind of did that with Jon Snow, where he had a couple of funny lines in the beginning, and then he was just like kind of played out as the sweet guy all throughout the movie, and then
Yeah. I mean, it's like we kind of was like teased that like, oh, Richard Madden and Kit Harington get to meet up again now finally, like
yeah, after
from Game of Thrones.
right?
Like that's the
Yeah,
reunion thing. And it didn't
yeah.
really like satisfy at all. Like,
They didn't make any Game of Thrones references. Such a missed opportunity.
I mean, I'm sure they want to move over it,
I know,
especially
but
after the
just
last
do
season.
one. Just do one for your fans. You know what I mean? Like I
I
would have
mean,
seen you be like, ha, that's from this, that's from that.
I mean, maybe there was. I just didn't catch it.
Oh, could be.
But it is like this movie has chemistry of like just like Game of Thrones. Their music, the guy who does the music did the music for this. The main lady's name is Cersei, which is like funny and like it's
So
spelled
a lot of
different.
Game of
But
Thrones Easter eggs.
I mean, it's just like coincidences. I don't even think Easter eggs. Like,
Okay. Just ended up happening that way.
yeah, and then like the scenes between the two, like Icarus, which I think Icarus was fine. Like, he's very dull, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I think in Game of Thrones he's kind of the same, and I kind of like it worked for him there in this like medieval kind of show. Here
Yeah.
it doesn't work, and then it's
Yeah.
like I haven't seen him in Cinderella. I'm sure people liked it.
Same thing. He's kind of deadpan in that. He was in another show called The Bodyguard. Same kind of
On the Netflix show.
haven't seen Bodyguard, but I saw like the trailer of it, and I kind of
Mhm.
the same vibe where he just kind of like, you know, kind of quiet,
Flat. He's flat.
flat. Yeah, flat.
Yeah, and the same thing like when Game of Thrones was at its peak, he had like some spin-off thing called like Gold Digger, the Gold Rush.
Okay.
It was like a 3 episode special BBC thing, and it was like
Mm.
I was so excited to watch this, and it was the most boring thing I've ever seen. I
Yeah.
feel like he is not making it for Marvel.
No.
Like it was pretty
Well, he's
boring, but
gone, right? He's not
well,
doing it anymore.
spoilers.
Oh, well, we already said we were doing spoilers.
Okay, we're full spoilers now.
Oh yeah. So I mean, he's. I don't think he's coming back. For he's pretty much blew himself up in the sun. So
Yeah, so
I don't.
story wise, it's a weird one, but it makes sense. It's like the whole time you're going through, and you're like, okay, the Eternal is gonna like their job is to like preserve life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like the Eternal will be born, or I guess that's not revealed till midway through. But
Yeah.
it's like even when you learn that, you're never expecting the Earth is gonna be destroyed. Like it's never like a thought like, yeah, there's 10 more movies coming out after this. Earth is not going
Yeah.
anywhere.
It's not really an impending fear, right? Because if
Yeah.
there's no Earth, Marvel's not gonna have anything to like.
Save.
They could do movies in different planets. Yeah, I get that, but like still, their home base is Earth, and that's what I think people like scenes even in like Guardians when
Mhm.
you're all over the different planets, he still comes back to Earth or starts his journey, on Earth. So
Yeah,
I don't
so that plot line,
Earth.
like it's just like it doesn't hold any weight
No, there's
for
no
this.
consequences.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
could it be that like okay, they stopped this, so like maybe one day like I guess there's another planet they're gonna stop this from happening to, but
Mm-hmm.
they'll fail and then like
It'll blow up.
another's
Yeah,
yeah.
possible. That's possible.
As far as that, I didn't really care.
Yeah.
Um, the plot otherwise, like
It's fine enough,
Cersei
honestly.
was just so boring that like
So boring.
it
And
didn't
mind
matter.
you, she leads the dang movie. Like she is the main character. I know there's everybody else in there. And you know what? I do feel kind of bad for Gemma Chen because she is working with a lot of good actresses.
Mhm.
Actors, right? Like I think Kumail Nanjiani is top tier comic. I've seen a couple of his movies. Lovebird, Stuber. I've enjoyed him in almost everything I've watched. Right. And I didn't watch Silicon Valley, but I've
Mhm.
heard really good things about him in there.
Yeah, I've seen season one. He's really good. I want
He
to
was
watch more.
in Men in
And
Black. That was a bad movie, but he was good in it.
no, I didn't know he's in that. But
Yeah,
Stuber,
he's
great. I
great.
love
We
Stuber.
enjoyed it. Yeah, we enjoyed it so much.
No, but Cersei, I would get like there's like I don't know some reason in my head it puts me as like she's Korra and like Ajak would be Aang, kind of like, and she's
I
kind of
guess.
like I need to take on the role of Avatar, like this
Yeah.
eternal,
Yeah. Okay.
and she can't do it, and like she's crying about it all the time. Like I
Yeah.
mean, she's not literally crying about it, but she's just like quiet and weak. Like she
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
that anger part of like I can't figure it out. That's what she's missing in this. Like I think like if she did have what Korra has in like Avatar, like if she
Yeah.
has that, what you hate, like you don't like that. The reason you don't like Korra, or I don't,
She's
it's just kind of like she's bratty, which is like
she is bratty. She's very like, but you know what? Eventually they
you
kind of
like.
yeah, it works in her favor, which is what I liked about the show. Well, in the beginning, I remember complaining to you about Cora and saying she keeps bragging about herself. She's so annoying. But then eventually, you come to a point where the writers did a really good job using that personality trait to develop her, and then maybe they could do that with Cersei too. This is her first
Mhm.
movie. Maybe eventually they'll give her more things, to care about, and hopefully get some acting out of this girl because she could not for the life of her express anything. She was just we thought Richard was flat. She was like flat earth
Yeah.
flat. Bad, bad, bad. So I think hopefully the next movie she's not gonna be the main person that's kind of deciding the fate of all these gods. And
Mhm.
I don't know, maybe Angelina Jolie should just ask for more money and take the reins.
I mean, she might. I mean, so I guess Icarus is gone because he turned out to be the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
He kills himself in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Interesting.
um,
He just flew up in there and said, "Hey, buddy," and lit himself on fire. Okay, sure.
Salma Hayek is no more either, which is like
Yes.
okay, two less people.
Yes.
Um, then Sprite, I think, turned into a human at
Human.
the end, which is
She's a human
interesting.
now.
Which
Yeah.
she still has her powers.
Yeah.
No, no, right?
No, I don't think so. I
Like
think
she has a Loki power. She's pretty much Loki.
yeah. Yeah, I think she's done. I don't think she has any powers. At least that's what I got.
Yeah, and I was like, they made the joke that she's Tinker Bell, but I was like, she's Pinocchio because she wants to
Mm-hmm.
be a real person, real
Oh,
boy.
that's true. Yeah. Well, Tinkerbell wanted to be a real girl, so
Oh, okay, okay, makes sense. I
it
haven't
makes
seen
sense.
Peter Pan in a long time.
Well,
Um,
I haven't seen Peter Pan in a while, but I saw Hook, and I remember like in Hook, Tinkerbell wanted to like.
did you see Hook or you saw Pan,
Oh, sorry, Pan. Is it Pan?
the
Oh,
Wolverine
no,
one?
the one with Robin Williams. It's the classic.
Okay.
No, it's Pan crap. I don't even know what that is, but that made sense. I like the connection between Tinkerbell and she kind of did look like Tinkerbell too, right?
Yeah, they did with the hair. Yeah.
Yeah, did a good job.
I wish there was more of this the deaf lady or I don't know what she has. She can't speak. She's vocally
Yeah,
impaired.
Yeah, the speedster.
Yeah, I did like the scenes where she's sign languaging it, and I thought that worked really well.
Yeah, she had good comic moments too. I think.
Yeah.
Good.
I wanted way more of her.
Yeah.
It's because like we went through, and the movie is long. It feels long.
It's a long one.
And
And
you're
not
like,
all of it is bad. Like I think the pacing is pretty decent considering it's a long movie, except like a little bit in
the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, a little bit in the beginning and a little bit at the end, I think.
Yeah, because like it ends kind of abrupt actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're like, oh, they all get brain wiped. And then like,
Yeah,
okay, is there more?
I think.
I kind of forgot that happened actually. I
Yeah.
was like,
Was it when the celestial like
yeah, she drops, they go to check on her at school, and then they all drive away, and then like
yeah.
Gilgamesh, no, Gilgamesh dies, right? He's also dead. Did they
Yeah.
free him? Did they undo him?
No, Gilgamesh is gone. Gilgamesh is gone.
Oh, so 3 people dead. Okay, so
Yeah,
there's Athena,
Gilgamesh,
Druid.
Ajax. Yeah, so yeah. Okay. Remind me of the people that are alive, actually. That's probably a better way to start.
Yeah, so Cersei, Athena, Druid, Kingo, and Macquarie and Fastos.
Yeah.
So they killed off 3 people. Okay, it's interesting.
Lots of death.
So no, so like it was such a weird thing that like Kingo at the last fight said, "I'm not gonna fight," and him and his butler or his valet leave, and it's like, what was that?
What was that? He like literally carried. When I kid you not, he carries the movie.
Yeah, he
Like,
carries the comedic relief. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Every time he was on screen, I was excited. I enjoyed it. Like that hour where him and
They go to visit him in India. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that Bollywood scene though. I think it was not a good representation of what Indian movies are like.
No, I saw a few posts about that people are upset about it. I mean, I don't even to be upset, but
I mean,
it's
I'm not
like,
upset, but I just
it's
don't
just like
think
it
it was
wasn't
like,
good. Like,
no, it
like,
looked tacky. It didn't make any
yeah.
sense. I think they were going for more of a comedy thing, but it didn't really land. I'm not, oh, they're culture appropriating. It's not good representation, blah, blah, blah. I just don't think it was kind of awkward to watch. And like in my head, I can't help but compare it to like Indian movies because I watch them.
No.
I watch them when they used to be good. And it didn't.
His outfit's even bad. That's horrible.
Oh, the outfits were horrible. I'm like, Marvel has so much money. You couldn't, you know what it was? It was like the Harry Potter fiasco all over again, where in the 4th movie, the Goblet of Fire, girls have the ugliest Indian outfits on.
Yeah, it's horrible.
You could not find better outfits. You have all this money. You couldn't have done more research and put prettier clothes on these girls. But I digress. So yeah, I think that scene. But apart from that, Harish Patel, we've seen him in so many Indian movies. Like my parents would definitely recognize him if they came to see this movie. And like, you know, it was just so nice seeing him, like watching like an American audience laugh along with him. It was cool.
I really liked his last scene where he's there. I mean, it sucks that they're leaving, but I really like the scene. He's speaking in Hindi and he's like, it's an honor for me to be with you guys as superheroes. And he says it in Hindi and it's just captured, kind of like subtitled in. And then the other scene where they're on the train or something, and then he's kind of explaining, or in their trailer, and he's like explaining, he's like, it was kind of hard for me to say that I don't age, so I am the same actor, like playing like it's the son every time, and it's like my great grandfather to my grandfather to father to this is me now, and I thought that was really great.
So that joke landed really like well with like me and my sister because we watch Indian, like my sister's a big Indian cinema person. And, you know, I of course tag along, and there's a huge like royalty in Indian like movies in Bollywood where grandfathers and great grandsons and all of them have acted down the line. So this is actually something that fully happens in Bollywood. So that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, it was a huge nepotism debate. So I thought it was really interesting that they kind of put that in there. It was funny. It was good. That one landed for me.
Yeah, I think most of the jokes landed, like even the ones where he's like, oh, they just announced this 3 sequels for my movie that we're filming day one of.
Oh
And
yeah.
then the butler's like, yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think we don't have a debate here. The best character was Kingo.
No, easily. Easily. Who's the second
And
then?
who's the second best?
Yeah. I
His
wanted
butler.
okay, who's the third best?
It's hard. It's either Sprite or Makari.
Okay.
I mean, I don't mind Angelina
Well,
Jolie
yeah. I
or
mean she was
Gilgamesh.
okay.
Gilgamesh
Yeah.
was actually very funny too,
Yeah, he was
because
good too.
he when you first see him like back in present day, he's like making the pie and like he's baking and he's wearing like the what is he wearing? He wears like a
Like an
apron.
apron.
He wears like an
Yeah.
apron,
Yeah.
and I think he was good. Like it sucks he won't be back for the next one.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
I
is a Korean
liked
actor. He's
him.
not. I don't know what else
Yes,
he's
he
in.
is. I think he was in a show called Bad Guys that I semi watched. I don't think I finished it, but I think seen trailers or something. But I think it's the same guy.
Okay. I mean, after Squid Game, every Korean actor's like probably excited right now.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of opportunities.
Yeah. Um, I mean, Fastos, I'm kind of disappointed. I didn't really love him.
Mhm.
The scene with him at home with his like family like was nice, and I did like
That
that
was
scene at the
nice.
end with like Athena
Good.
is like
And
she's
yes.
like she uses her spear to get the fruit down.
It's like whoa. I love that. Was such a dad reaction. He's like, get away from my child. That was good.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, it's such a different character than what else I've seen him in. Like in Atlanta, he's like a gangster rapper. So
Yeah.
like,
Now he's like a gay dad. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Interesting.
so opposite. Yeah.
Yeah. But that kid, the kid, oh my God, they must have found like the cutest freaking kid.
Mhm.
I loved, he was in it for 2 scenes, but he was so cute. I love the kid.
Yeah. Um.
I think Ajax was my favorite character.
Oh yeah, Ajax second favorite. But she also gets like the short end of this movie of like,
Yeah.
there's way too many people, so we can't have too many scenes because they kill him off.
And they
like
cut the best person out. Like she, like when I tell you, like she was so much fun to watch anything. Like she's just so gorgeous. So it was so much fun to just watch her like do her thing. And she was like indirectly schooling all these people. It was good. But yeah, definitely is the favorite. If Ajax was in it more, she would be my favorite, but
yeah,
it was definitely still the show.
Then what do you think about, I guess, the overall like idea of the Eternals? The Eternals are trying to fulfill life so then they could allow the souls be taken and the Eternal is born or Celestial is born.
Celestial is born. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Today morning, I just kept thinking about like life and how it comes to be after I watched the movie, because I guess they kind of talked about like the cycle of like life and all that stuff. And this like crazy argument that, everything has a creator. But if that's true, then a creator has to have a creator, and a creator of that creator has to have a creator, and all this crap, right? So I was like thinking about that, and like I do kind of like this idea that in order for something amazing, a celestial, to be born, a bunch of people will have to sacrifice their life so that the cycle of life could be continued.
Yeah.
I do think it's kind of dumb that the Eternals were created to fight the Deviants.
Yeah, when you mentioned Deviants once, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, that whole thing, like we didn't even talk about the Deviants because that ends up being so like unimportant. Like I think all of that they're battling each other because they were accidentally created, and I'm like, this is a celestial, can't he just uncreate them? Like I don't understand the point of creating the Eternals to solve this problem. Like I think all of that just seems a little too far-fetched.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just it was, and the other thing is, it was a movie that came out a couple months ago with Chris Pratt, everybody's favorite Chris, apparently, and He
Mario.
oh, Mario. Yeah, right. He did a movie called
Yeah.
and the Deviants look very similar to that. Like
Yeah.
very similar to that.
So that's my big issue of like every creature right now, like in video games, looks like that right now.
Like that.
In
Yeah.
Returnal, every main character, like the ones with like the 4 legs, looks like that. Metroid, the first boss, looks like that, and it's like, is that the only character design we have? It's like a dog with tentacles.
Generic. Yeah,
It's like no
generic.
face, and it's
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah. And
try to do
can we
something
talk
different.
about the second evolution of the Deviants, the Eternals? They're literally full-fledged humans with powers. Yet these fuckers are just dogs with a couple of tentacles attached to them. It's just so silly to me.
What I found it so weird is like the first one, well, I guess technically, like timeline wise, like you see the one that Gilgamesh gets absorbed and he turns into like this fish looking Aquaman bad guy. Like it looks a way better version of Aquaman's bad guys.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, then when you see the flashback and then when Ajax is absorbed, those guys don't turn into a human. It's just like another
No,
monster.
no, but I guess
It's like the
because he had more
consistency.
than one, but I guess he had more than one power in him. So Ajax was the first person he absorbed powers from, and then he did Gilgamesh, and there was one more person he got power from.
No, just the two.
It was just the two?
Because Icarus kills himself.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. I thought he like grabbed powers from. Okay, so maybe
Because I know when Ajax dies, the one absorbs him, and then that uses its tentacle to like gives the other one's power, like the other three
did
or
he
four.
kind of look like handsome Squidward to you?
A little bit.
I was thinking that. Yeah, I was gonna tell you after the movies, but then we went out and I forgot about it.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Handsome squid. Squidward.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I could see it.
I wasn't that excited about that whole battle nonsense, and it ended up being a side plot anyway because Icarus ended up being the main bad guy. So
Yeah, I mean, it was like generic creatures, so I was like, yeah, whatever. Like they needed a bad guy to be a bad guy, then they found like one of themselves turned out to be the bad guy.
Which I honestly I thought it was going to be Ajax at first. We had a conversation with what's his name, Ashram.
Yeah.
Arsham. Okay, sorry if I'm pronouncing this all wrong. But like she kind of felt like, he's not right. And we didn't know the plan I think at that point, right? So I was like, oh, she's gonna defy him, and like because she wants to stay human, she's gonna like fight with everybody who has a mission. But I'm glad I was wrong because I like Salma Hayek and I didn't want her to be the bad guy.
What did you think about like there was scenes like all over, like flash forwards and backs to like different eras, and it was like the one I think I don't know some war going on, and Druid was like, "Why don't we help the war?" And then she's like, "No," and then he just leaves.
Yeah, stupid. And then she's like, "Everybody leave," and I'm like, "What?" She says it after he leaves, right? He's like, "Okay, you all leave too."
No, I think that happened over time. I think they didn't show when each person leaves.
Okay.
But
okay.
I think it took years for each person to like
get out,
move on.
Yeah.
But it was such like, wouldn't the Celestials want you to help solve these wars they survive? Like in my head, it's like, yeah, we should interfere.
Yeah, so that more people can live. But I guess
Yeah.
the excuse that was given is humans need to evolve and they have to do it because that way they're closer to being the smartest versions of themselves so that the Celestial can absorb their energy. If you always are helping them, they're not going to learn and grow. So I was okay with that. It's kind of a wishy-washy like theory, but yeah, it's fine.
I guess Fastos, I did like him bringing new weapons and technology out, like, and then when it got to like the atomic bomb and like he goes to like Japan and he's like, I messed up big time, and that's when he gave up on the world. But then he like in like 50 years he's like, I'm back.
I'm back. Well, I mean, he has a son and he did a lot of it for his kids. So I get it. That's a decent motivation for me. I think it's okay. I'll let that one pass too. I think the problem with the movie is there's a couple of characters that are really fun and interesting. And then there's a couple that are really not. But the problem is the movie gave a lot of these characters like a initial introduction. Like everybody had a piece, right? You re-met everybody, right? And then you had, and I was okay with the flashbacks. Don't get me wrong. I think they were some of the interesting parts of the movie. But when you're going and you're meeting all these characters and you're getting them, and it ended up dragging, and which is why the first half of the movie was just, it felt long because you're going around meeting all these people and watching them in their boring ass lives. So I thought they could have kind of sped that up a little bit. And then there was some, like, you can notice some inconsistency between the time certain characters were getting. And I guess they were doing that because there's some high profile characters, right? Actors that they needed to give screen time to. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see what kind of deleted scenes we get from this when this is added to Disney Plus. Because when Black Widow was added, they added like 9 scenes. I didn't watch them yet, but supposedly they're decent. Yeah.
Okay. Well, does that make the movie better?
I mean, I haven't seen it yet, and they're. I don't think they're canon either when they release these random scenes.
Yeah.
No, but then like there's just the post-credit scenes. There's 2.
Yeah, 2. Let's just talk about the first one and get it over with. God.
Well, the first one was those guys in their little triangle ship.
Yes. So that was
interesting looking.
That was the speedster Makari. Makari, am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Athena and
Fastos. Yeah, Fastos was there.
Oh, Fastos. Okay, I thought it was Druid.
Druid was there too, I think.
Okay, so all 4 of them are there. Okay.
Yeah, I think at home Kingo stayed back, I think.
Yeah, so Kingo, Cersei, and who else got taken in?
Maybe Fastos was the one that was taken.
I think it was. He wasn't.
They got brainwashed.
Yes. Well, we don't know that yet. He just said, I'm gonna read your memories or something like that. I didn't even understand what the heck happened at the end. But
I mean, my interpretation was he's going to put their brains on that little wall.
Yeah.
Then he's gonna review like what happened.
Okay. I just thought he was just gonna.
Which is dumb because I'm assuming he's watching at all times. Like he could be useless like the Watcher.
Okay, the Watcher is not useless. Okay.
He's as useful as the Celestial.
You know what? We're just gonna have to agree to disagree on that. The Watcher is amazing. Don't even come at the Watcher.
Did you watch the finale of
What If? Oh my God, I'm thinking of, you know what I'm thinking about? Watchmen. I'm tired. It's 1:00.
Okay.
Yeah, the Watcher is pretty useless. You're right.
All right.
You're right. I take it all back.
Yeah, so the post-credit scene is Pip the Troll appears and he's announcing someone like a kind of like in a UFC fight, some kind of like boxing match. Like they're announcing the name.
Of Royal.
Yeah, and then they announce Star Fox Arrows. It's Harry Styles.
God, make it stop. Just make it
Thanos'
stop.
brother.
Oh my God. Did you want to talk about your Thanos theory?
I was going to mention after this.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
I mean, I don't have an issue with this. He was in Dunkirk. He was fine.
Did you not hear the screams of the little girls everywhere in the theater?
What's wrong with that? Let them enjoy.
You go see a Harry Styles movie, you're not going to hear a word. It's going to be like Interstellar because you're going to be screaming every time he's on screen. I know. I used to be one of those girls when it came to Harry Potter. I got yelled at because I screamed so much every time he was on screen. It's not going to be a fun experience. As an adult, I understand everybody who
I'm sure in 5 years when the sequel comes out,
he won't be.
It won't be as hyped.
Okay, all right.
He'll get canceled by then.
No, he wears a dress. He's okay.
That won't be okay anymore then. In 5 years.
Yeah, it might be gender appropriation at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. No, I think it's fine. It's just interesting to bring him in now. What is he gonna do? Like, supposedly he's the opposite of Thanos of everything he does. Yeah. And he supposedly is an Eternal from a different planet, assuming he's the Eternal from Titan. Okay,
that's interesting. Well, that was one of the things they do, right?
Half Eternal, maybe.
Okay, maybe Thanos was the other half.
It could be. I did read somewhere it could be like he is the son of Titan and Earth's 2 different Eternals, the
Okay.
son. So he's like
Okay.
half Earth, half Titan or something. Who
Okay.
knows? But he's human, not, or he's, I don't know what he is. Whatever he is. He doesn't
Yeah.
look like a
Yeah.
purple monster.
Yeah. 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 So he's Thanos' half brother, not full brother.
Possibly. Who knows?
Okay. Okay. That's why he doesn't look like a purple sack of balls. Makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'll buy anything at this point.
Yeah, you kind of just go with it. No,
Yeah.
the theory right now is Thanos is right. Just like the subreddit when it came out in 2019 or 2018, whatever it was, like Thanos was right. And it was like Thanos was right to kill half the population to have more crops and more land and more stuff. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I could see the outcome, but it's like
Yeah. And
never
on top
right.
of that, stopping the celestial from destroying the earth, right? That's the other thing.
Yeah, so there's the additional one now of like, oh, he half the population everywhere, so 0 celestials will be born,
Yeah.
and like you won't lose a billion lives
Yeah.
or
But
several
I also
billion.
think if he did knew about this, maybe he was just like, well, I could just be a celestial and rule over these people. There doesn't need to be. Maybe that's why he was going around conquering. So he's like the one true celestial, and they're, you know,
Yeah,
still the bad.
it's like, what can they do with this now? Like, I don't know. Will they bring Thanos back in any way or anything, or just talk about him?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? I mean, this is all leading to Fantastic Four and Galactus. That's where they're going. Galactus is
Okay.
a celestial,
Mm-hmm.
and I would assume the Eternals are going to fail in the
Mm-hmm.
next movie, and then some celestial will be born on another planet, and that will be like Galactus, and the Fantastic Four will have to stop him. Something like that.
Something like that. Okay. We'll see that happening.
Because I mean, I don't know how else to explain this giant planet-looking guy.
I know. I know. And then there was one more, right? That might have been more important post-credit scene.
Yeah, the final one was Jon Snow picks up his sword, or he opens his little box, like he has a little ring with a dove or something.
Yeah, so I guess there was like a quick subplot of him like finding something out about his family, and every time he tried to talk about it, he just got cut off for one reason or the other. And he says, "Oh, my
Yeah,
family, like
it was like
history's
they're on
more
FaceTime.
sorted." Yeah,
It was like
yeah,
run random FaceTime of like
yeah.
she's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm at so like Eternal in the beginning of the movie, and then later on he's like, I guess my history is kind of messed up too, and it's like a
Sorted, yeah,
FaceTime that fails.
yeah.
Then at the end, like they meet up, and then like she's gone, she gets absorbed
Get
up or
up, yeah.
something, and then he kind of just returns home, and he's like, I guess I'll need this sword some reason. It's very
We don't
strange
know
because
how he got
there's
there.
no yeah, there's no reason for him to go get a sword.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna cut the metal looking guy with six eyes or
Yeah,
wing
eight.
things with a sword. Sorry, buddy. That ain't gonna help you.
No, but he is a very cool character. He is the Black Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly his uncle is like a knight, or I guess there's different incarnations of like maybe even medieval times. He was like he has like some kind of sword made by Merlin, the wizard,
That's
not
it.
Malcolm Merlin, but
Okay. Okay.
but
Well, it's a
it
DC
is a blade.
reference.
It is some kind of special blade. It's called Ebony Blade,
Okay.
and it is cursed with like some kind of like blood magic. And I guess the more it kills, the more likely the
Stronger.
person using no will be, I guess, brought to
Evil.
the dark side. Yeah, evil or
Mm,
something.
okay. Okay.
Um, so then there's like a voice of like, "Are you ready to use that?" And it's
It's like, are
been
you sure you're
revealed.
ready for this? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's revealed that it's like Mahershala Ali's like Blade character.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's like I don't know anything about Blade.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nothing.
Wesley Snipes had a movie 20 years ago or something. I
Yeah.
do want to watch it.
I heard like I think the first one was really good. I don't know about the rest.
Isn't there only one? There's more than one.
I think there's two.
Could be. I mean, I'm not sure.
One or the other,
That was
two or
pre
three.
Spider-Man 1, so
Yeah.
potentially.
Yeah. True. Yeah. True.
I mean, it's cool. I just wonder, will we see Black Knight in another movie before
Yeah.
Eternals 2?
I think we will, because he won't have much screen time with all these other people with actual freaking powers. So I think that he might be stuck in somewhere else, and then eventually he'll come back to kind of finish his story off with Cersei. In
Yeah.
Eternals too. That's my guess, at least anyway.
Yeah. I mean, when did this movie take place? Like,
All over the dang place. BC, AC.
no, like when is present day? Is this like post Loki? Or is this like post WandaVision?
Oh yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Is this post Spider-Man? Like,
We'll find out, I guess, in Spider-Man where the heck this timeline belongs.
yeah. Because
We'll
it's
get
like
after Loki.
it's such a weird thing because Doctor Strange 1 came out in 2016 and the new movie's coming out in 2022.
Oh my god, look at the freaking
The
length.
6-year gap.
I know.
And it's like, oh, he was in 2 Avengers movies and like 2
He's
seconds
kind
of
of been
Thor.
all over though.
Yeah, and then now he has like 4 appearances like in between that. It's like we have to see these characters somewhere else if they're gonna have
Yeah, we will. We will.
because they have movies planned out until like 2024.
I think Marvel's doing too much. I'm getting confused. They need to slow it, roll it in a little bit, and just go movie by movie, because the setup stuff is gonna get everybody so confused. But I guess the internet kind of likes arguing and debating all that. So maybe they know what they're doing. What the heck? They're like $1 billion company. What am I saying?
Yeah, I mean, people like it. People also don't like it. People are kind of like falling off on the shows. They're not watching them all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's when you get to pick and choose of like, I don't need to see all 4 shows a
Yeah.
year,
Yeah.
5 shows, 6 shows and 4 movies.
They won't make any dependency on the movie on the show, because they actually make quite a lot of money through the movies. Not that they don't do the show, but it's not. I don't think it's a good business move to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wanted this after watching this. I would just say I would want this as a 6-episode show instead.
Eternals?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that working a little bit better, honestly. But I haven't been super impressed by their shows either, so I don't know.
This is as good as the shows.
Yeah, but that's not saying that we're saying it's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean the effects were like show quality.
Yeah, not the best. Certain things were really good. The fight scenes were all really fun to watch, not gonna lie, but certain things were just so crappy. Like all the invention stuff and him moving his arm and all, it's so convoluted, man. It's convoluted.
It's like how much different can you make it from Doctor Strange?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's basically the hand gestures are copied. Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, I don't know like when we'll see Harry Styles like again.
Yeah.
And it seems like you don't want to see him ever again.
Can we not do the first week show? If we do, we'll watch it.
Okay, that's fine. We don't need to see it right away.
I know who's gonna be there. Okay.
4 years.
Even then, I guarantee you all the girls that like him now will still like him in their adulthood. And they'll still scream when he comes on TV.
Well, it's gonna be when we watch Batman. Is the Twilight fans gonna be there?
They're all gonna be there. All gonna be there. Telling you. I mean, Rob Pattinson's kind of died down a little bit, so maybe not. I don't know.
He's got his hype. He's got hype.
You still think he got hype?
No, I mean, I don't know. I'm just very curious. This movie trailer did not do it for me. So.
I used to be a Twilight fan. Oh my god, I can't believe I did that. Changed my mind after a year though. Not even. After I read the second book, I'm like, oh, this is crap.
After you watch Parks and Recs, you're a fan again.
No, I still wasn't. You know why? Because there's a line in there where Leslie Knope goes, I'm more of a Harry Potter girl myself. So, you know what? No. Twilight still sucks. No, but I mean, I just don't want to like sit with a bunch of screaming girls. Someone who's been there in their position. Let them have their moment and we'll just watch the movie in peace.
Yeah, I just found it super awkward in the movie when there was like 3 people clapping for some, well, I don't know what the scene was, but like 3 people
when
clapped.
Angelina Jolie killed the deviant,
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
The one person that clapped, and then the other person felt bad for that person clapping, so he clapped, and there was one more on behind us who clapped, and that was it. And I'm just like, oh, this is awkward.
Yeah, it's very like no one was that excited for that.
No, not because Angelina Jolie was bad. It was just
No.
the deviant thing was just not interesting.
I mean, she was a better Wonder Woman. Like that's what she was.
Yeah,
Like, let's not
yeah.
lie. Like
Yeah. I'm still Team Aniston, but that's okay. I can compliment Angelina Jolie.
okay.
All right. That's all I had to say. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, I think we've been going for pretty long on this, longer than I thought.
Yeah, right. Guess we I think it's because we liked a lot of parts, but we also didn't like a lot of parts. So we talked about all of them.
Yeah, I think that's it for today. I mean, it's fine. It's
Go watch it. Give Marvel your
it's a
money.
phase
Do it
4
anyway.
movie.
Oh boy.
It's no Shang-Chi. That's all I gotta
No,
say.
it is not. It is not.
But it would be cool if we see like Shang-Chi and Black Knight together, like in
That could
Spider-Man,
happen.
Spider-Man, Black Knight, Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Who else? Doctor Strange.
Doctor
Like
Strange.
that's a cool lineup for Avengers.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. They never did anything with the Avengers. They just kind of, I guess they're still building it out, so it's fine, whatever.
Well, Black Knight is an Avenger, so
He is?
yeah. The Eternals,
Oh.
no. Not
Yeah.
really.
Own
Not
group.
really. Yeah.
They're like Avengers assistants or overlords. I can't figure it out quite yet. I guess overlords because they have more powers and more idea of how the universe is created. So
It's gonna be interesting because Thor's gonna kick all their asses. But Thor's still around too.
yeah, he is going to be. I don't think he's leaving anywhere.
No, he loves this.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. That's in it for another episode of Raving and Review.
Talk to you guys next time.